Okay, so my name's Rachel Hansen and I work at Pacific Edge. So Pacific Edge is in this building here, the Centre for Innovation, which is on campus, so it's just by St Dave's. And so yeah, I'm a full-time laboratory technician there. So what I'll talk about in this presentation is first I'll just give an introduction to the company and the kind of products that we have, just so you can get an idea of what we do. And also talk about the transition from going from academia to commercial science, because that's basically what Pacific Edge does. It's commercial, we're selling a product. And I'll talk about what I've done so far in my career path, which has only been like a year, but and then I'll talk about the internship that I had and what I do now, and also I will get into the internships that we have going this summer. I don't know if you've seen all the flyers around, but we're advertising for 2 interns, and I'll just go over some quick key hiring points, just in case you're keen on applying. So firstly, Pacific Edge, what do we do? So Pacific Edge is a cancer diagnostics company, so we work on molecular biology. And we specialise in developing and commercialising diagnostic and prognostic tests for better detection and management of cancer. And at the moment, we specifically focus on bladder cancer. And so we're really interested in detecting bladder cancer early so that patients can have a better prognosis. And so Pacific Edge composes of 2 sections. So we have the research and development section, which works on developing the tests, and that's where I work. And that's the building that's on Dunedin. And then we also have diagnostics, which is also in Dunedin, and there's also a diagnostics lab in the US. And our team also consists of many other roles, as do all other companies. So we have accounting, finance, IT, management, marketing, etc. So Cxbladder is our main product. So there's 3 different tests in Cxbladder. And so what we work on is producing non-invasive tests for detecting bladder cancer. So usually the gold standard is a cystoscopy, which is quite invasive and it can be quite painful, and it's just not really pleasant for testing patients. So what we do is we have 3 different tests, and all you need is a urine sample, and then what we do is we then get those and we use 5 different gene expression markers to detect whether you can rule out cancer, or there's also Cxbladder Monitor, which is used for when you've had bladder cancer and detecting recurrence. So yeah. So just a little bit about going from academia to commercial science. So at the moment in academia, you kind of do a lot of research. So you've got a question and you're trying to answer it and you make hypotheses and all of that. And we do that as well. But where it goes into commercial is where you start using this information to develop a product. And also, once you've developed the product, you want to keep working to improve that product to make sure that it's the best that it can be. So some of the questions that you'd start thinking about when you went into commercial science would also include what will make money for the company and for the shareholders, what makes a good and reliable product, e.g. what is the sensitivity and specificity of the product, is it cutting edge, and also what can we do to improve the product. So a little bit about what I've done so far to get here. So I did my undergrad from 2016 to 2018. I started off in health sci first year because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Hated it, and then decided that I wanted to do a Bachelor of Science instead, and I majored in genetics and I minored in pathology. So once I'd done that, I decided I wanted to continue studying. So I did a summer studentship with Julia Horsfield, who is over in pathology, and I worked on doing in situ hybridization with zebrafish embryos. And then after that, I decided to do my postgraduate degree in honours because I still didn't know what I wanted to do. And that was really good because I found that I gained a lot of laboratory experience, which I think is quite important. And then again, I still didn't really know what I wanted to do when I got to the end of it. And I saw that there was a Pacific Edge internship. So about last minute, I decided to apply for it and just go for it. And managed to get it, and it's been amazing. It's been so good. So I've been working in the single-cell technologies project, And then after I finished my internship in February, they decided to keep me on as a full-time laboratory technician working in the research and development team. So just a little bit about my internship. So it was November 2019 to February this year, and it was paid living wage. It's 10 weeks or 400 hours, whichever one comes first, and it's great because it's really flexible. They're very good with your hours as long as you get the work done. They don't really care when you do it. Well, they do a bit, but as long as you get it done, it's more about the work than when. And we had 4 different projects which were suited to different skill sets. And it was really awesome because the company was so welcoming and so supportive, and it was an amazing way to go from university into the workforce, because it can be quite intimidating, but it's good when you've got like supportive and friendly people there alongside you. And they have lots of social events, like the Christmas functions. We did Movember fundraiser, lots of morning teas, stuff like that, which is awesome. So now that I am working full-time, what I do in my day-to-day job, I do a lot of experimental work. I can't go too much into the details of what I do with that, but that is a lot of what I do, so working in the lab. But other than that, I also go through literature searching. I present the progress and results of what I've come up with. We have lots of team meetings, so it's a lot of working within a team and discussing the issues that you're having and what you can do to solve it. Data analysis, and as well as software learning, so that you can perform the data analysis, and also talking with the statistician. So I don't really do the stats myself. I'm not very good at stats, but it's good because you've got separate people to do that, which is great. So if you are interested in applying for an internship this summer, there are 2 going. So one's in the single cell, which is the internship that I did. And so this one is product development, and we're using cutting-edge technologies. So it's a product that's not yet in the market, and we're working on developing it. And droplet digital PCR, which is working on improving the current CX bladder image that we have. So those products that we already have, working on improving those. If you are interested, the applications close at the end of this month. And you just need to send your cover letter and a CV to this email here. I also have some flyers with me if you are interested, so you can come and grab some. And so these are from November to February next year. And as I said, they're 10 weeks or 400 hours, so it can be quite flexible. And it is said to be one of the best ways to get involved in the company for future employment. So out of 4 of us interns, 3 of us were offered jobs. One decided to go on to their PhD, and the other decided she wanted to go to Auckland. And the other 2 of us got hired, which was awesome. So definitely a lot of opportunity within the company. And just a couple of things with what Pacific Edge looks for when hiring. So they want people that are well-rounded, knowledgeable, and willing to make a change. And also candidates with the skill sets which are suitable to the project, but you definitely don't have to know everything. I learned so much on the job, and it can, again, be quite intimidating just coming from university and thinking you know nothing, but you do learn so much, and you know more than you think you know. A lot of innovation, because you are working on developing new things. So that's one of the really cool things of commercial science, is that you can be quite creative and you can try things, and it might fail. Most of the time it fails, but that's fine because that's your job. And they want people who are really motivated and who are willing to self-learn and have their own project to work on, obviously with a lot of guidance, but just quite willing to do their own things as well as team players who fit into the company culture of Pacific Edge, because it's quite, I think there's about 29 of us there, and we're all quite tight-knit and like to have a lot of fun and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really awesome company to work for. So thank you for listening. This is the team here. I don't think I'm actually there in that one, but so if you have any questions, feel free to ask now or ask me later, or I can give you a flyer, or there's an email here. And also, if you want to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, those are the tags down there. And that is all from me. Thank you.